hello everyone, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining from. We are very glad that you could join us today, and welcome everyone. It's another beautiful day. We are so happy that we could gather again to have some meaningful conversations. So, today, we will be talking about conflict resolution in relationships. So, it's about how we resolve conflicts when they come in our relationships. We might touch a bit of other level of relationships other than marriage relationship, but we will dwell more on intimate relationships, people that are married or partners. So let's hit the road. I guess I have some questions. We have some questions to answer today, and we'll be taking them one after the other. Let me just make sure that the Facebook is capturing us well. Just a minute. All right. So we know today that a lot of the times when conflict arises, people are supposed to have common interest in handling those conflicts. But a lot of times we find that someone is just thinking about themselves while the other person is thinking about himself or herself. And because there is no longer a common interest or something that the people are looking forward to or towards resolving, or should I say, looking at the whole purpose of that relationship and having that in focus while dealing with that conflict. That is one of the things we find makes resolving conflict very challenging. And so we're going to share a bit of why this happens. And I've already started saying that. And maybe we could look at how we can make sure that conflicts are resolved, bearing in mind the main purpose of the relationship in the first place. So, what's the first question we have?
The first question we have is this: at what point should an unresolved issue be settled by someone else? And third party in bracket.
Okay. So we know that sometimes people are unable to resolve their conflicts, and that's because of what I have just shared. So when this is happening, should they just continue living like that or relating in that way, awkward way, or should they find a way to resolve it no matter what it takes? So I think that the best thing would be to resolve a conflict. There is no relationship that thrives in a scenario where people are not seeing each other in the same way they saw themselves or regarded themselves when they got together in any relationship. So it would be best that they start thinking in that line rather than being divided. Whether it involves third party or anyone that could resolve it, I believe it's not important. What's important is that the parties involved get results that is favorable to them as individuals and as a couple, or as people that are in marriage, husband and wife. So having it resolved will be the ultimate goal, no matter what it takes. And I know there will be sacrifices, there will be things that people will go out of their way to do so that they can resolve that issue, which is very uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with or didn't like. And sometimes it may go against their values, but not their core values. And they will want to shift the goalpost to make sure that the common interest is accommodated or that the purpose of that relationship is sustained and fulfilled. So that's what I believe should happen. And that's what I would say to anyone who is in the process of resolving an issue that is becoming so tough or so challenging, that they should look for help. If they can't do it alone, they should involve a third party. I know that it is not what people would like to hear, because it's been in circulation that don't get a third party involved. Just do it yourself. Just resolve it. Don't share it with anyone. Don't tell someone outside. But certain situations will need you to find the right professional, the right expert, the right person that will resolve it. We don't mean that you go telling the whole world or bring it to social media. No, that's not what we are saying. Find someone who has the expertise and who is qualified, or based on experience or anything, that could help you resolve it. Thank you.
Right, that's okay. You've said the way I would have loved to put it, but I will try to make some clarity here, which is when we talk about third party, is something that most of us are familiar with, and in most cultures, actually, I've been to a wedding ceremony, and it's not long ago, and the question of the couple's question came. A question came says, at each time, who should you ever avoid discussing anything? And the vote was third party, third party, third party. So that tells you that a lot of people don't like the letting third party know. Who would like third party to know things about them if everything is working very well? Nobody would like to share. But we are talking about third party or somebody else when it becomes obvious that you guys can solve it on your own, and somebody to interfere would be a good situation. This is why we talk about third party. And when we talk about third party, I would like you to understand that third party, they are people who are your friend. They could be your friend. They could be family member or a counselor. Your friend, because some people, you'll be surprised that some people, their friends knows them more than their spouse knows them. And that when the person is having problem, somehow they need to go to that. Look at what it is. I don't understand this. And the friend who knows them more will tell you, if he's doing that, this is what it is. And some couple, a family member knows them more than. Had it been that my sister Chichi is still alive now, Chinyere is still alive, she's not Chichi. There are things that people wouldn't know about me that she would tell, oh no, did you say he did that? No, I know what he would do, what he wouldn't do. So in such instance, these are family members who knows you very long time more than other people. Relationship can leverage their knowledge of you when it comes to dispute resolution. And this is why we talk about third party to solve a particular matter. And matters that we talk about third party coming in are matters that both of you have tried and it's not working. Then it becomes obvious that external hand could help. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong in trying. You might just try and it works. And some people may have, as soon as they start the therapy, maybe not much has been discussed. The matter is settled. Do you see that? So that will be the third question. I don't want to jump to the third questions now. So that will be the third question.
Okay. So when he's talking about counselors and therapy, some situations and some cases may not need to get to that level or to those professionals. It may be something that if the friends or family members couldn't resolve, maybe due to familiarity, that a coach can come in and resolve it. To be honest, some of the things that causes problem in relationships, if you are on the other side, you will find that they are nothing. They are not really something that other people that are not in the situation will make a big fuss about. Yeah. It's just because maybe a lot of accumulation of so many things had just happened and distrust has started coming in, familiarity, and due to past course of dealing, people are beginning to have doubts in their minds as to whether they are truly loved, cared about, regarded, and all of that, respected. So that's what it is. It's not like it's something that will go to court or the whole community will have to gather or so professional will have to come in. A lot of times when it's getting to professional is when it has to do with the mind or, mental state of a person or traumas that, we know takes some time to leave someone and a lot of work needs to be put in. Other than that, some conflicts are just someone getting to understand and believe that what the other person is complaining about or saying, that it is true. That's what solves it. As soon as they believe that it is true, they then do what they are supposed to do or what is being requested that they should do. But if they don't agree, then they will keep shaking their head until someone else that they can trust will come in. And sometimes it could just be a coach.
It indeed could just be a coach. Indeed, it could be a coach because in most instances, a coach understands it from the perspective of a professional and a combination of personal behavior, personal experience, which makes it easier to solve many matters. Now, I was reading psychology today not long ago, and there's something about third party that came. It will be a direct topic of what we're talking, an opposite of what we're talking now. And the psychology today said third party could be anyone or anything. Anything could be third party. So let's flip the coin to anything. When anything becomes a third party, it doesn't mean that anything is the thing that is solving the problem. It is that thing is the causative organism. That thing is the cause of the problem. It becomes a third party. For example, a third party in that instance could be your job. It could be money. It could be a hobby or even your children.
Or TV. Or social media. Or phone.
Or TikTok. Or Temu. Did you know there's a new company called Temu where people buy things? There are people who their third party is Temu. Temu. Shein. Temu.
Please don't pay attention to this guy.
Because that is their third party. Shein and Temu. Temu and Shein, not Amazon. So they are here. Temu. Yes. So it could be that, because some say it could be your children, could be the third party. When situation like this comes, so we are going to talk about that. We'll go to another topic now, which means when third party become a thing, that is
the cause of the
conflict.
Yeah.
Now, handling them becomes very, very difficult. And situations like that, I would ask Temu specialist. When third party becomes a thing, my dear Temu specialist.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking to you.
I only started shopping at Temu because I needed to fix something in the house.
Oh, you didn't?
So why are you
started shopping in Temu because you fix something and you're still fixing things in the house.
Of course.
And the things you fix doesn't stop.
It's gonna stop. It has a duration, didn't we? Okay.
I hope it stops very soon.
It will.
Okay. Temu has become the other day. When third party becomes something, let's talk about it now. How do we handle such situation? Now we are talking now I'm going to listen to practical from the horse's mouth, Temuism and other things. When it becomes that it is the cause of problem, what is the best approach in handling or dealing with it?
Are you asking me?
Yes, please.
So let's just say that what you are hearing about Temu is a thing and that it is causing a conflict. In our case, it's not. But assuming that someone like me is a shop freak or something, that I shop a lot. I don't stop shopping. I just keep ordering things. There are some people, by the way, that is their hobby. As long as they have the money to order things, they order the things they need. The ones they don't need, some are not opened since last year and it's piling up and occupying everywhere in the house, and they keep shopping. In that case, you have a different kind of problem in your hands to deal with. because that person needs help. They are either using shopping to cover up something that is within, that is inside. And as soon as that thing is resolved, or as soon as they get healing in that area, then the shopping will stop. Now I'm going to talk a little bit on this before I continue the example. Because if you are now constantly nagging on the person, quarreling, fighting, and other things that come up in a relationship, then you are tackling it the wrong way. Because no matter what you do, until the person gets some healing and until what they are trying to mask is out, they will keep giving you headache because they will keep shopping and they will keep causing problem. So in that situation, what you can do, you, the other party, is to get them help. We always on this platform say, get help, get them help. It's because we have seen that it helps and it makes a lot of things easier. When you step away from all the things you're familiar with, at least get some new ideas. With open mind, you will find that the things you are thinking are true or correct or the right way is not actually the right way. There are a lot of people that even believed it when you did, had left you behind and moved forward. So you need to have an open mind and step away from the things you know and around you. They always say relearn to learn. And that's what it takes to change that mindset that is causing a problem. So that's what you should do. It's not them really, they need help, and then everything will be resolved. Now, going back to the example. So, assuming that it's just that I don't care whether all bills are paid, whether other things are taken care of, whether other people, get the things they need and other projects are carried out and stuff is done, that I just concentrate on myself, keep buying shoes, clothes, keep buying, all. Of course, if the Temu you are hearing about is happens to be that I'm buying clothes, buying shoes and handbags and designers, it would have been a big problem, definitely. So if that is happening and he keeps telling me, it's time to stop this shopping, you have bought enough clothes, you've bought enough shoes, now you have enough bags, don't you think it's time to stop? I'm like, no. Or maybe I agree that I will stop, but behind him, I will go and do some shopping. And then maybe when I put it on, you're like, did you get a new dress? Yes. And we haven't sorted this one and this other one. And yes. So what will happen over time is that he will not continue telling me. He will seek for help. Because obviously I'm not believing him that we have other things to do with money other than my own things. So he will need to go out.
You're answering our third question now.
He will need to go and get help and let someone else. It could be just the same thing he's been saying for weeks and for months, that I will hear from someone else in a different way and then understand it. And it could be that maybe we just sit and someone is now talking, asking us questions, and I will become the one that will answer my own questions by myself. I will start reasoning, understanding. Of course, when people are together or in love or love themselves in intimate relationships, sometimes you would think that is what he says all the time. Oh, he's saying it so I can do this. He's just want to manipulate me and all that. So when somebody else does it, tells you that same truth, it sticks, and then it will spur you to take some action and everything will be resolved. Most of the time, that's what I find that happen at coaching sections. It's not that it's something they don't know. It's just asking questions and things will be popping out in front of them until they make decisions by themselves. So that's why it's important to in that situation involve a third party. Remember, we are saying it's not taking it to social media or calling the whole church or the whole community or calling neighbors. It has to be someone that could bring answers to the questions that the couple or the people are asking, and someone who is qualified or has an experience to help in that situation.
Yes, it is somebody who will bring answer to the situation that draws people into third-party involvement. On that last note, I will bring the second question, which says that people usually involve a third party out of fear and desperation. They are afraid, so they want to make things work. Now, the question following it is, I think it is selfish-oriented sometimes by somebody involving a third party. What are your thoughts? Do you understand my question, or do you want me to rephrase it?
I mean, you want to say someone getting a third party involved in conflict resolution is selfish.
Yes, usually what led to people into it is out of fear and desperation to get the matter sorted out. That's the front, what we see. What we call the
In whose
mens
interest?
rea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intention could be that they are selfish. And this is why it is selfish-oriented exercise in the sense that, well, this because he wanted, that's why you're involved in a third party. What do you think about that? Do you think it's really, what are your thoughts on that?
First of all, I will say that anytime, I mean, there are some relationships that people could exercise selfishness and it will work for a while. And there are some that it should never come into play. There are some relationships that of course, if you really want it to thrive and to be meaningful and profitable, you need to remove selfishness. You need to, at every given time, not think of yourself alone. First of all, there are two people or more people involved. And also, there is a reason, a purpose that they are in that relationship. That also is big. It's a big picture. And you have to think of that. And also, while you're thinking of yourself, think of other people or another person involved so that you can have good results, because selfishness doesn't get you the right results that you deserve or you desire. What will end up is, as you are fighting for your own interest, do you think somebody else will not fight for their own interest? Of course they will. But when you think of their interests, in return, they will think of yours and it will be a win-win. Never think selfishness in an intimate relationship because it will backfire. So, back to the question. Yes, there is this desperation that let's resolve it. Oh, it's taking too long for him to understand, for her to understand. So I'm going to get somebody, or it is causing this amount of problem. There is this risk of him or her continuing to do that same thing or engage in that behavior or continue to sponsor that habit. Therefore, I'm going to get someone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, these are genuine reasons why you should. But we know that, and sometimes it is just to help the person that you want it resolved, because sometimes, a lot of times, habits that we form, there is an extent it gets to and it becomes very difficult to drop. And you don't want that person to get to the point where it will become difficult or will now need a lot of resources for them to stop the habit or behavior. So that's also something that people consider and want to look for solution as quickly as possible. But there are other times that it is all born out of selfishness. Somebody wants to score the points. Somebody wants to be the winner. Somebody wants to be the one that, is in his or her favor. Somebody wants the other person to be seen in a bad light, that they are the problem. So when you start seeing the other party as the problem, when you start, removing yourself completely from that situation, that you caused no harm, you caused no problem, then you should ask yourself, does one person fight? Because no one person fights themselves. Every time there is a conflict, what it means is that there is two or more parties involved, and there is a cause, and someone is, influencing that cause, or is the problem. So don't think that you will win by making everybody think is the other person, which is what we do sometimes. We call everybody, he did this, she did that, and this one. We count back in months, in weeks, in years, and bring anniversaries of all the things that has happened. What are we trying to do? We are trying to let people think of the other person as a problem, and we are not. Forgetting that those people will also know that there must be something that you contributed to that conflict being there. So most times it is people being selfish, wanting people to gather and see who is the cause rather than resolving it. And sometimes it is people looking for pity. They just want to call a pity party. Let them come and see how I'm suffering. Let them come and see how he's treating me, how she has been treating me, and all of that. How she has been not submissive, how she has not been obedient, how I do everything. Sometimes that's what it is. All in all, they are all stemming from a selfish place. And in some, what should I say? Some relationships that are casual might pass and work. But when it is family, when it is close friends, when it is husband and wife partners and all that, even when it is in communities like church and all that, it doesn't work. Especially when you have to be seeing the person all the time. You have dealings with the person. You have mutual friends. You have activities. You have events. You will always meet. You will regret that that happened. Because every time you meet that person, it will bring up something in you. So it's best to avoid the scoring of points, pity parties, and wanting someone else to be seen in a bad light. If you avoid that, conflicts will be easier to resolve.
Conflict will indeed be easier to resolve. But if you look at it from this way, it means it is advisable to be selfish then.
So that it will be resolved.
Yeah, because let's say if the reporting or the third party engagement is born, since we have established, is born out of selfishness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to be selfish because the end goal is because I want to solve the problem. So if I really want to solve the problem, you can start becoming selfish. Let's be selfish then.
No, I said that becoming self, because if you called people or paid for coaching or counseling or whatever based on the fact that you want the other person to be shamed, to be seen as a bad person or as the problem, the person you are sitting in front of will pick it up. So that's not why the conflict was resolved. Rather, is you discovering that you are not really standing on the right path, because what you are saying, somebody else will pick up that you contributed in that problem, and maybe in some cases the person is not the problem but you. So in that instance, you will have some regrets. So it doesn't, because if you didn't get a professional or someone who both of you regard and respect and listen to, that problem will never be resolved with that selfishness. Because as you are doing and talking and bringing up things, the other person also has some things they have to say. That's why it's a conflict.
Okay, and on the fact that I've seen people who really don't want to engage in this kind of scenario because everybody have something to bring, and they felt that they've been caught in the middle or exposed. So if they go into therapy, things might unfold that either the partner don't know, or there may be a way the partner will ask a question and things will be exposed. For them not to be feeling that being caught in the middle or get exposed, they think, you know what, I don't want to go to that therapy because if I do go, a lot of things will be reviewed. And I think I would say, if you have that mindset that you don't want to go because a lot of things will be reviewed, it simply means you've not made up your mind to sort the matter. To be honest,
you are being selfish.
You're being selfish
Yeah.
and being deceptive.
Yeah.
This it's better I speak Igbo. Why will I be speaking English? God.
So if you have a common interest at heart and also focusing on the purpose of your relationship, because every relationship has a purpose, there is a reason for it. If you focus on that, then, and also esteem the other person highly than yourself, then it's going to be quick to resolve, and everybody, and if there is no selfishness involved, that's another thing. Some conflicts can be resolved, but the scars of it will remain for a very long time. Yes. If someone sees all of that drama every time, although the conflict is resolved, but every time that they are having dealings with you, they are being careful. They are watching, their steps and tiptoeing around you. They sometimes will not say what they want to say in the way they want to say it. They will be chewing their words. And those kind of relationships are awkward. And you don't want that. You want where there is freedom, where everybody has a voice, where you take care of the other person, they take care of yourself, because you on your own hardly can take care of all of your needs. So that's why relationship is there. So if you are wise, you will make sure that there are not much dramas when conflicts come, because they will always come. They will surely come at some point in your relationship. Just watch out and make sure that you didn't go overboard. You didn't overdo things in anger. And then when it is resolved, the scars of it is lingering for a while. So it's best to just, if somebody says that, to the best of your knowledge and ability, you really want this to work, you really want the best for our family, you want the best for me, you are really doing this with best intention. This is what you believe, even though it's not okay, but to the best of your knowledge, you believe that it is good for us to do this, to do that. Then when it is finally resolved, they can still trust you, and they will believe in you and treat you in that manner. So it's very important to be very careful how your behavior and your conducts are when there is a conflict.